Hey guys, what's up? It's Mojo here, and I'm showing off my Dark Souls 3 PvP build. Let's get right into the stats. I have 40 Vigor, 18 Attunement, 18 Endurance, 25 Vitality, 40 Strength, 18 Dex, 8 Intelligence, 31 Faith, and 11 Luck. I put too many points into Dexterity, because it was originally going to be a quality build, I believe. Put whatever points you can. Actually, instead of putting them into dexterity, or actually, I might have put points into dexterity because, yeah, okay, so instead of having 16 dexterity, put the extra points, put any of your extra points that you have over, just into dexterity, not dexterity, put any points you have that I put into dexterity into your, endurance. I'm going to double check that stat. Yes, your endurance. Because it's something that this build lacks a little bit, and I dislike it a little bit. I will say this, is that I feel like I don't have enough stamina sometimes, but it's actually not that big of a problem. It's just sometimes I swing a little too much. I get a little overzealous with it. But that's just me. I do have a little bit of a problem with the stamina management here and there, but other times it's perfectly fine. Usually it's perfectly fine. It's not that big of a deal, but if you have a problem with it, just take the 2 points that I put into the 2 points extra that I put into dexterity, and the 1 point that I put into, faith, and just put that right into your endurance, and you should be fine. Now, I'm going on to the stats. I have a Heavy Exile Greatsword plus 10. I'm actually using the simple small leather shield. So I don't know if you guys know how weapon arts work, so I'm gonna tell you real quick. This little move, it doesn't cost it costs a certain amount of FP when it's used, but just to activate it and use it, all it does is when you're using this, it checks to see if you have any FP or mana. So as long as you have FP or mana, you can use this and still do the same amount of damage and stuff, and you'll be just fine. And the simple leather shield, as long as it's on your back or in your hand, it's restoring 1 FP every 4 seconds. So every 4 seconds you can use your weapon art one more time. Getting into the gear, I have the Fallen Knight helmet, the Dragon Scale armor, I actually usually use the Gundir's gauntlets, and the Dragon Scale waistcloth. Now I want to talk about alternatives to the Heavy Exile Greatsword. I was using the Claymore for a while, and it's actually a bit lighter, so you could change up the gauntlets to Havels, actually, and I still don't think it looks half bad, and you get that little bit of armor. And I think the Claymore is actually pretty good. It's a very reliable strength weapon. Now, I know some of you don't like the Claymore and the big, heavy, slow weapons. So to that, another really good usage of this build, instead of using either the Heavy Exile Greatsword or the Claymore, another great weapon to use would be the Sunlight Straightsword. I know a lot of people want a faster, more reliable weapon than the ones I probably just showcased. So if you wanted to do that, you could use the Sunlight Straightsword. It's a quality weapon. I believe you can infuse it, but I'm not sure. So you could infuse it with heavy and get that extra strength scaling. Even with this, right now, plus 4. Okay, so 316 damage. One moment. 316 damage, and then with Sacred Oath and Lightning Blade, 491. And then with its ability, that's 513 attack damage, and it's not fully upgraded, and I don't have the best scaling for it because it's only a C scaling, but that's for strength and dexterity. That's a crazy amount for a weapon that's not even fully upgraded. So think about this when it's fully upgraded. So this is a good alternative to the other 2 weapons I just said. So if you don't like those other 2 weapons, I just told you about, you could use this one and you'll be in the money. You'll do just fine. But oh no, that's not the heavy exile greatsword, but I like this weapon. And I like to use these gauntlets. This is what I enjoy using. And it works fairly well. But going on to this, by the way, I also use the Saint's Talisman plus 10 because I was going to use the Sunlight Talisman. However, I don't. And that might be a better option. I didn't. I upgraded them both to 5, and the Saint's Talisman had a better spell buff ratio. I don't know if this one has a better spell buff ratio than this one at plus 10. But that's why I used the Saint's Talisman. Also, it was fairly easy to get, plus it scales with an S. The two spells I use, as I just mentioned, are Lightning Blade and Sacred Oath, because both of those increase your damage output, and Sacred Oath helps you live longer with the extra damage absorption. The rings that I use are the Ring of Favor, because it increases HP, stamina, and maximum equip mode. Who can't love that? Havel's Ring to increase maximum load. However, if you use something like the Claymore or the Sunlight Straightsword, you could swap it out for pretty much whatever. The Chlorantha Ring for stamina, because I told you I was a little upset with the stamina, but no big deal, pretty much. And then the Hornet Ring for on the critical attacks with this weapon, because it's I've one-shot multiple people with just doing a straight-up parry. And it's also saved my ass multiple times, just like, I'm about to die, roll, do a parry, boom, you're dead. It's saved my ass, it's helped me win fights. It's a pretty good ring. It's very helpful and useful. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy the next few fight scenes, and see you next time.